At first, it looks like an ordinary little songbird. It is barely larger than a human hand, dressed in soft gray feathers, with a white chest and a narrow black mask across its eyes. It has no powerful claws, no enormous wings, and none of the size we normally associate with a dangerous hunter. But hidden behind this innocent appearance is one of the most remarkable predators in the bird world. This is the loggerhead shrike, often called the butcher bird. And hanging from the thorns around its territory are the clues to its secret life. Grasshoppers, beetles, lizards, and occasionally even small rodents may be carefully fixed onto sharp branches. Some will be eaten immediately. Others will remain there as stored food. But when the breeding season arrives, these strange collections become especially important. A male shrike may build an entire pantry close to his nest, giving his mate and future chicks a reliable supply of food. What appears shocking to us is actually an ingenious survival system, one that will help a new generation of butcher birds grow from helpless hatchlings into skilled hunters. Our story begins in early spring, across a wide stretch of open grassland. Low bushes stand between patches of short vegetation. Fence posts and utility wires provide perfect observation points. Thorny shrubs grow along the field edges, offering both protection and something the shrikes cannot survive without: sharp points. A male loggerhead shrike sits upright on the highest branch. From here, he can watch almost everything moving below him. Unlike a hawk, he does not circle high above the landscape. He waits patiently, scanning the grass for the slightest movement. His eyes detect a large beetle crawling between the stems. In an instant, he leaves the branch. The shrike dives low, catches the insect, and returns to the safety of the bush. But instead of swallowing it immediately, he carries it toward a long thorn. With a practiced movement, he fixes the beetle firmly in place. This is the beginning of his larder, a natural food storage area built around the territory. The reason for this behavior lies in the shrike's unusual body. Its hooked bill resembles the bill of a much larger bird of prey. Along the edge of that bill are specialized projections that help the shrike control and process animal prey. Its feet, however, are ordinary songbird feet. They are designed for perching, not for gripping a struggling meal while tearing it into smaller pieces. Hawks and eagles use powerful talons to hold food beneath them. The shrike cannot. So it uses the landscape as a tool. A thorn becomes an extra claw. A forked branch becomes a clamp. Even barbed wire can become part of the shrike's outdoor kitchen. Once the prey is secured, the bird can pull away manageable portions without needing to hold everything in its feet. But the thorn provides more than physical support. It also creates a food reserve. When insects are plentiful, the shrike may collect more than it can eat. Storing this food allows it to return later, especially during cold mornings, storms, or periods when hunting becomes difficult. Some prey may even become safer to eat after being stored. Certain insects and other animals contain unpleasant defensive chemicals. By leaving them untouched for a period, the shrike may allow some of these substances to weaken before returning to feed. For the male, however, the larder also carries another message. It is an advertisement. A well-stocked territory tells a female that this male is a successful hunter. It shows that he controls good feeding grounds, understands where prey can be found, and may be capable of supporting a family. Soon, a female arrives. The male becomes more active. He calls, performs short display flights, and brings her food. His collection of stored prey is no longer simply a pantry. It has become evidence of his ability to provide. If the female accepts him, the pair begins searching for a nest site. Both birds inspect bushes and small trees, but thorny vegetation is especially valuable. A dense, spiny shrub can make it harder for some predators to reach the nest. Once a suitable location has been chosen, the female takes the leading role in construction. For several days, she carries twigs, rootlets, grass, strips of bark, and other plant material into the bush. The male helps gather supplies, while the female weaves them into a deep, insulated cup. The inside is lined with softer materials, feathers, moss, fur, fine grass, or anything suitable that the pair can find. Eventually, the female lays a clutch that commonly contains 5 or 6 eggs. Now her world becomes much smaller. For approximately 2 weeks, she spends most of her time incubating. Beneath her warm body, the embryos develop, protected by the thorny branches surrounding the nest. The male becomes her main connection to the outside world. He patrols the territory, watches for danger, and hunts continuously. Sometimes he brings fresh food directly to the female. At other times, he collects food from the larder he prepared earlier. This is one of the most important reasons for storing prey close to the nest. The female cannot leave her eggs unattended for long. A nearby food reserve allows the male to feed her quickly and return to defending the territory. Then, after about 15 to 17 days, the first egg begins to move. A small crack appears. One by one, the chicks emerge. They are blind, nearly featherless, and completely dependent on their parents. They cannot control their body temperature well, escape from danger, or feed themselves. Their only response is to raise their heads and open their mouths whenever they feel movement near the nest. Suddenly, the parents' workload increases dramatically. The male continues hunting, while the female divides her time between keeping the chicks warm and helping deliver food. During the warmer months, insects form a large part of the family's diet. Grasshoppers, crickets, beetles, and other small animals provide the protein needed for rapid growth. The parents must make repeated hunting trips from sunrise until late in the day. A large prey item may be too difficult to carry directly into the nest or too big for the chicks to swallow. Once again, the thorns provide the solution. The adult secures the prey nearby, removes small portions, and carries them to the nest. The thorn has become a food preparation station. It allows the parent to divide one large catch into several chick-sized meals. Instead of struggling with it at the nest and risking attracting attention, the adult can prepare the food at a safer location. The larder also acts as emergency insurance. If strong wind or rain suddenly makes hunting difficult, the parents may still have stored food available. For a group of rapidly growing chicks, even a short interruption in feeding can matter. Day after day, their bodies transform. Their eyes open. Dark feathers begin replacing their bare skin. Their wings grow stronger, and their black facial markings slowly become visible. At first, the nest is quiet between feeding visits. But as the young birds grow, their calls become louder and more demanding. Around 16 to 20 days after hatching, the chicks are nearly ready to leave. Their first departure is not graceful. One youngster climbs onto the edge of the nest, testing its wings. It jumps toward a nearby branch, flapping rapidly and landing with uncertain balance. The others soon follow. They are now fledglings, but they are not independent. For several more weeks, the parents continue bringing them food. The young birds hide among the shrubs, calling whenever an adult approaches. During this period, they begin watching everything their parents do. Hunting is not a skill they master immediately. A juvenile may chase a blowing leaf, carry a stick in its bill, or strike at an object that is not edible. It may press a leaf or twig repeatedly against a branch, performing a rough imitation of the impaling behavior used by adults. These awkward attempts are practice. The instinct is already present, but accuracy must be learned. The fledglings watch their parents scan the ground from elevated perches. They learn to recognize the movement of insects. They practice short dives, often missing their targets. Gradually, their timing improves. One youngster finally catches a grasshopper. But catching prey is only the first challenge. The juvenile must carry it to a suitable place, locate a sharp point, position the prey correctly, and push it into place without losing it. Its first successful attempt may be clumsy, but it marks a major step toward independence. The young shrike is beginning to use the same natural tools that allowed its parents to raise it. As summer advances, the family becomes less dependent on the nest area. The juveniles travel farther and hunt more often for themselves. Eventually, the parents stop feeding them. Each young bird must now find its own territory and build its own knowledge of the landscape. It must remember where insects gather, where small animals hide, and which bushes contain the best thorns. winter presents a new challenge. As temperatures fall,